Hey everybody, this is the Music Ed Minute, episode 16 for September 16th, 2015, the Yamaha Silent Brass Practice System. Hey everybody, this is Chad Criswell from Music Ed Magic, here today with a review of another product that you are really going to like, I hope. Music product called Yamaha Silent Brass. Okay, this has actually been around for a while, but this is a newer model. Okay, I remember checking out Silent Brass many years ago, but they've made some tweaks and some improvements and re-released them. They look a little bit different and they sound a little bit different. So we're going to talk about it. When you open up the box, you get a bunch of wires first. All right, before you get to anything interesting, you get a bunch of wires. First, one of them is a pair of earbuds. Not the greatest, but actually they feel really flimsy when I first got them out, but it turns out they're not that bad. If I'm really picky, I'm not going to use those though. I'm going to use decent headphones. I shouldn't say decent. Okay, they are decent. I'm going to use high-end headphones if I'm really getting picky about it. It comes with a male-to-male headphone jack, stereo looks like. Uh, More on that later. And then it comes with another headphone male-to-male jack, as you can see here. Whoops, get it back in frame. All right. And all those wires connect into this little belt pack transmitter. It says Yamaha on the front. All right. And on the side, there is a switch here. We'll talk about that in a second. And on the top, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit here and let it focus. There we go. It has in jacks for the mute. That's the wire coming from the actual brass mute that I'll show you in a second. Got an input for the auxiliary in, and it's got a headphone jack along with the volume control. And that aux in jack is so that you can take one of these headphone jacks and plug it into your media device, iPod, iPhone, MP3 player, whatever you got, and play your music into this, and it gets mixed in with the output from the mute and goes into your ears. So like if you've got your accompaniment saved onto your MP3 player, you can practice along with your accompaniment through this as the mixer. Now, like I was saying, on the side there are a couple of little switches. Come on, focus, you stupid camera. Anyway, one of them says on off. That should be self-explanatory. The other one says Rev 1 and Rev 2. One of them, the Rev 1 is just kind of like a dead room kind of sound, a normal unprocessed sound of the instrument. Rev 2, Reverb 2 is basically what they stand for. Reverb 2 is when you want it to sound like kind of a big concert hall. It has some nice reverb to it. It's actually pretty accurate. Okay, sounds pretty good. Now this is the heart of the system, though. This is the trumpet version of the Silent Brass mute. Okay, and the microphone, as I have researched, is actually right there in the tip. Okay. Now, what happens is you take this and you plug one of those wires that I showed you before into that. The wire goes from there, from there into your belt pack transmitter. And then you obviously stick the mute into your instrument. Now, let me show you here something really quick. Switch over to this. The Yamaha Silent Brass system comes with almost any instrument that you want to watch or that you want to use. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the fact that you can now see the outside edge of my green screen right now. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can adjust here a little bit. Well, yeah, you see my bookcase. Okay, well, hey, the magic is gone. Now you know how I do this, I guess. All right, we're going to keep on going. As you can see here, we've got the trumpet mute, which is what I've got right now. Works really good, no problems. If you pick this up on Amazon or one of those places, you're looking to pay about 160, 180 bucks, depending on the vendor that you go to for it. And that's for the brand new version of the system. As you can see over here, they also have models for flugelhorns. They've got a mute for trombones. They got a mute for French horns. It's a euphonium version. I don't know why they didn't kind of change it a little bit here, but I don't know. That's the euphonium version. And then we've got the Giganto tuba version over here. For the entire system, if you're going to buy it, you're looking at about 100 and, like I said, about 160 to $180 for the trumpets, all the way up to around $500 if you're going to buy the tuba mute. Okay. Now they've got all kinds of different arrangements of this here, and they don't have a whole lot of reviews on their site. But not only did I play around with it for about a week or two here, I also did a little bit of research looking on the web just to see what other people were saying about it, and I was kind of not surprised to find that they were saying a lot of the same things that I was. Let me get this back here so that it's maybe not quite so distracting. Sorry, maybe it doesn't bug you, but it bugs me. The only real problem that I had with this mute, I mean, well, first let's talk about the good things. Okay, the good things is it works. It totally knocks down the sound. In a normal apartment setting, like let's say you're trying to practice in your apartment, you don't want to bug your neighbors, this would be perfect because it literally mutes it so much that I don't think anybody would really be able to hear it unless they were a real jerk, okay, and they really wanted to pick on you about it. I've even seen reviews and articles written about this where people have actually practiced in public spaces, like even on a plane, I think, while having this in, and it didn't bug anybody. It really does knock it down that much. I actually hooked up a decibel meter on my iPhone today and was practicing with it at school. Found out that without the decibel meter, I was playing around 80 decibels. I was trying to push it a little bit, right? I was playing around 80, 85 decibels sometimes. With this in, it dropped it way down to around between 65 and 70, 65 on the low end. Now that may not seem like much, it's only 15-point difference, but in terms of decibels, that's a lot, okay? So it really does knock down the sound, and when it gets processed through the belt pack and sent out to your headphones, it really does sound good, okay? With a couple of exceptions. The only exceptions that I don't like about this one is in certain registers on the instrument, you're going to get intonation problems. For me, for some reason, every time I went up to a C, third space C on the trumpet, it was really flat. It drove me nuts at first. I'm like, is that me? Is that my lip? Or is it the mute? I kept playing around with it, and other people were saying the same kind of things, that in extreme high registers and extreme low registers, you are going to get some intonation problems with this mute and with the system. But you're practicing to yourself. It's not like you're using this to record. I mean, I guess you could use it to record, but it's not intended for that purpose. It's intended for you to be able to practice quietly without driving your neighbors and your spouse nuts. And for that purpose, it does really, really well. Okay, now, like I said, I only got to try out the trumpet version. They do have the other versions for almost every other brass instrument. Well, they do have a version for every other brass instrument out there. So if you're in the market for such a thing, give it a try. There have also been some reviews and some articles that I've seen up on the web of teachers using these in their classroom as a teaching tool, so that the kid can really focus in on their sound, okay? Because it's going into that microphone and right into their ears, so they can really hear closely what they are doing. And that's not a bad deal, okay? Consider it, take a look at it. Fair disclosure, Yamaha did send me this unit to do the review with, but I think I'm being pretty fair on this. If I had the need for it, I would buy one. Okay, I don't have a problem with it. The only problem that I had, like I said, is that intonation issue. And if that really drives you nuts, if you have perfect pitch and you just can't stand to hear anything be out of tune, maybe don't use a practice mute, because I guarantee almost every practice mute out there is probably going to give you the same kind of intonation problems on certain notes. But overall, great little product. Check it out. Yamaha Silent Brass, available on Amazon, available Musician's Friend, probably available at your local music store. So that's about it for today, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this. Hope it's been helpful. Like I said, my name's Chad Criswell. I am the webmaster of musicedmagic.com, which is celebrating its 10th year in existence right now, folks. In November of 2015, we will be celebrating 10 long years of music education excellence. Please check us out. Subscribe to the podcast either on iTunes or on YouTube. Hope you have enjoyed this show, and I hope that you will check back later. Thank you very much, and have a great day.